Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be on the Tonight Show.
This is the 4936 Spot Podcast.
And Faithful, stand up, baby.
If y'all saw the post-game show, we went right after the loss to the Rams. We took that L, and we are back 2 days later. I'm actually surprised I got that right 2 days later because it's been a whirlwind. I know some of y'all don't know what day it is. Some of y'all need to wake up. It's all good. You know, we got our different ways to cope and move on, but you got to move on. All right, we got to move on. This is the 49365 Tonight Show, Frontline Sports Media. Shout out to Croc. Shout out to all the guys on Frontline Sports Media. A lot to talk about. Took that L. Couldn't be 7 in a row. Lost to the division. I don't want to say rivals. Much different feeling than the Seahawks losses, but we'll get to that. My name is B. Amechi. As always, I'm with JB.
What's poppin', B? What's poppin', Faithful? Yeah, man. It's funny that you were saying division rivals and NFC Championship with division rival. The last time was the Seahawks, but it's like you said, it's not. At least I'll say it's not that type of vibe. Like it's not that bad blood. There might be bad blood, but it's not like that from the top down. Because, even with the McVay, like after I've been listening to some press conferences from McVay after, and I feel like he's kept it classy is the word I want to say. Talking about Shanahan, he's not doing no type of digs at him, and I even heard them ask. About the fourth, they were asking him, do you learn anything, not just from your mistakes, but from other coaches' mistakes? And the fourth down, 4th and 2, and I'm I don't know, I feel like that right there was a setup for him to be like, yeah, we would have went for it or whatever. But he was like, he said something like if he was in the same spot as Kyle, he would have did the same thing.
Somebody did a fake tweet though. I remember I tweeted out something, or I sent you a message.
That was fake, bro.
Yeah, somebody said that he was talking about how Shanahan's not in my head. It's like, bro, why do people do stuff like that, man? Like, why do people do stuff like that?
Bro, it's the internet. You gotta be on your P's and Q's.
I know. That's why I don't. You gotta be careful what you retweet, and everything is alleged. You gotta use the quotes. But go ahead though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I seen that. I'm like, hold on. I went to the post game pressure. His first comments was talking about Kyle being a great coach and a great team. It wasn't nothing about the tweet said his first comments were, to all the media said that Kyle's in my head. He didn't say that, man.
Media. That's not something you do after that's something you do after the Super Bowl, talking like that. The whole season, players and coaches are so buttoned up, and then when they win the championship, it's like F y'all, F everything. But we're not gonna get to
I know, but I mean, because it's like you could see that happening, I guess. But like I said, I guess my point is with the Rams, they are a rival, but at the end of the day, it's just different. Like I said, the level of respect that Kyle has showed McVay, even the 7 in a row, and I don't know, and then McVay shows it back, and probably deep down on the inside, of course, they want to beat each other really bad. That's that. They want to be better than each other probably, but it's a level of respect that makes it a little easier to swallow than the Seahawks rivalry with us, where it was just right after the game, don't you ever test me with a sorry receiver. It's just damn, bro. So it's just a little different.
Yeah, kick you while you're down. Yeah, one thing I will say about the Rams and it being different, I was thinking about it today. Something that doesn't get talked about enough when we talk about 49er legends in terms of fans, there's probably nothing more legendary. I'll always remember this. I know I know you're gonna know what I'm talking about. When I remember after the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, and there was that one 49er faithful out there at the parade. Do you remember? There was that one. He had shorts and the jersey. I think he had a Frank Gore jersey.
Yeah, for sure. I remember that.
And it was yeah, bro. We are you. We are you, bro. We see you. And I was just thinking about that guy, man. Tip my cap to him. I was thinking about him today, and I was like, man, I really want the Bengals to win, man. But if the Rams win, I think I'm gonna have to go to that what's it called? Parade cellar. I don't even know what it's called, man. It's been so long. I think I'm gonna have to go to that parade, man. Rock some Niner gear. I have to channel my inner, that guy and be him. And I think I might have to come through. I think I might have to come through.
Yeah, man. You want to
Rocking
go
the
ahead and put
jerseys.
yourself through that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just because like I ain't never been to it, it'd be nice. I just want to see what's going on. You know, if they're gonna win, I might as well see what the parade vibes are like. Nah, I want to go there banging and let them know, like, yeah, y'all got this one. But the future is still bright for us, and we'll get to talking about how let's just get to that now, man. How you doing, bro? Like, how are you coping with everything? Like mental health tap in, like, in
okay.
general, this game, like how you doing for real?
All right, it's kind of it's I mean, okay, let me see. I think one thing I don't know that has helped was like the little player exit interviews, and then like yesterday you got to hear from all the players, so that was kind of like closure. That's like closure, guys. But like I'm doing how I expected I would be doing, like just
I gotta use that one. I gotta use that one next time somebody asks me how I'm doing. Oh, I'm doing how I would expect I'd be doing at this point.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was like, who wants it to be over? Like, I don't like you. Who wants the season to be over? Just thinking about like, man, we really could have won that game, but at the end of the day, the team that should have won because they just that they had I don't know, the quarterback differential was apparent in that game, but I don't know, bro, like I said, I just knew how I was gonna feel. Like, I knew I was gonna be sad at yesterday, especially Monday morning. Like I said, that's the worst. To me, that's just like when you sleep with a broken heart, waking up is the hardest part. That's a John Mayer line. And so that Monday morning, it just you waking up like, damn, like this is really over, and you start getting emotional, start thinking about all the guys that was putting it out there on the line, Debo, and just all them type of this season, and you just like, these dudes really, even Coach Shanahan, like just everything, and you just like, man, like I wish they would still be playing, and then I ain't gonna lie, bro, the Jimmy thing, like Jimmy, man, he's definitely just an average quarterback, but he has a special place in my heart, bro. He does, and I just feel like I couldn't have asked for more than him. I knew he gave it his all, and he came to this franchise 4 or 5 years ago, gave us hope, turned it around, and throughout the whole process, he never did anything where it would just be on the field type thing that made me upset, but like just the way he carried himself, what type of dude he was, and then to see the goodbye speech today, oh man, that got me emotional, man.
Yeah, you jumping over to like 18 different areas, but I mean, I guess that's all part of the answer is how you cope with everything. It's been a journey, it's been a process, it's been stages, it's been, different turns and, movements with it. But yeah, man, I hear you on that, man. I got a lot of thoughts too. I guess I'm gonna go different areas. I know immediately after the game, we always talk about, man, you a little bit ahead of me, you know what I'm saying? So on that last drive, it's like the first down doesn't go well, second down doesn't go well, then I get a call from you, like on the FaceTime, and I already know the game is over. I already know, like, we done did something, Jimmy done did something, whatever. And so like that moment to when actually seeing it happen, and then you calling me and I didn't pick up, and then you called again, and it was just like, we had a show on a Saturday, and you were like, man, you ain't gonna be super disappointed even if we get this close, and like you saying you're not gonna be disappointed, like, are you kidding me? And it's like, I just feel like you were right, I was wrong, like, because it was just, I guess like the one thing I didn't take into full consideration was just the aspect of the how, because thinking back on it and talking it out now, we got paid back. Karma hit us, and I don't want to say karma, but karma hit us from the Green Bay Packer game, where it's like, that's how it must feel to be a Packer fan, where yes, we weren't leading the whole entire game. And you can even say like the Rams were really honestly like, you said at the beginning of your statement that the Rams deserved to win. So you could say the Rams were even, we had some turnovers, or we got the Jimmy Ward turnover, but they were moving the ball up and down the field. We had the 4th down stop, but they were moving the ball up and down the field. Cooper Kupp was killing, OBJ was killing. They didn't try to run, but unlike us, they didn't try. We couldn't run either, but we still tried. That's neither here nor there. But the way the game went with us being in the lead and having the lead, and really after the Kittle touchdown, it was for me a little bit of talk shit time. It was like letting it out. It's like, yeah, man, like it's okay. What are you talking about, bro? Like we got this. And then the Tart fake interception. I know you could even say with the 4th down stop, but like I think we were fine. And clearly, like after that Tart play, like if he makes that play, the game could change. I don't want when the game immediately ended, I was like, oh, we were the better team. We should have won. But then I also thought about the Ramsey, fake interception too. And it's like you definitely gotta take that. If you're gonna talk about the Tart play, you gotta talk about the Ramsey play, because that could have been.
The Tart one was way easier.
True, but Ramsey's a great player, and it's like you in that Ramsey play, like that could have easily been a pick six. He didn't really get it clean, like on his hands, but like
I'm saying the Tart one, bro, you could have caught that one. Like that was like that's the one that fans could catch. Like,
I get it, but I mean, you could catch. I mean, I could have caught the other one too. Like, I mean, that Ramsey one, it was there. Like, Jimmy could have thrown a touchdown in that play. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that up in terms of because I was one of the people like that Tart play. We make that like the game's totally different, but like there's other things that happen in the game. But that started it. From that play. And just how the rest of the game transpired. And like, what's interesting, JB, now that I'm talking about it right now. Look, man, you don't react how you react. We all human, but with the Tart play, man, it's like I feel like the fact that he just stayed on the ground after and like had his hands over his head and like was just like sitting there, you know what I'm saying, in disbelief and being distraught right after it happened.
I mean, it was like, all right, we like now they got the momentum, and we don't.
It's like
we feel like we gave the what, like we feel like this isn't, bro. Even what Shanahan said, bro, like Shanahan said, 2nd and 1, 3rd and 2, and then that Tart play. So then that just tells me that like
that was the game. That was
like
the game. Momentum.
I
stopped believing.
Yep. That's what they felt.
You can see it. You didn't even need him to say that to see that. Like that was. I mean, everybody that for the fans, like for the game just. And so, anyways, this is a long-winded answer, but just the way all that transpired, and then with them winning at the end, and like it was just too sudden. Like I just went from too much of a high to too much of a low. I just had to like instantly like. Go to the room, just sit down on the what is it? The like those memes with the Narcos where bros just like on the swings and on the yeah, exactly. Like it was one of them type of energies where I was just on the edge of the bed, just like or kind of like the Jimmy Butler meme where he's over the stand in the bubble. It was one of those type. I was just all the energy was out of me, man. Like all the energy was out of me. And Faithful, I know how y'all had, similar experiences. Y'all know how that felt, but basically, like, I don't know. I just didn't expect it. I didn't expect for it to hit me that hard like that, because I didn't expect to lose, number one. And then I had to go outside and all the fireworks. We already talked about this in the post-game show, but I just, it was tough. And, we had to do a show right after. I wanted to do a show right after before I even called you back because I just wanted to, like, not hide from it, I didn't want to, like, be all in my emotions and my feelings and not no, I wanted to instantly get on, talk with the people, talk with the faithful. But I would say the next day, Monday, yesterday, being in LA, I don't really drive too much. And when I do drive, I don't always listen to the radio, but I happened to have the radio on when I got into the car, and it's like LA Rams, your Super Bowl bound LA Rams after beating the Niners. Like, it's like that's all I heard like on the radio, and I was just like, do I want to torture myself and continue to listen, or do I want to do something better for my sanity and my mental health and turn this off and put on some Deepak Chopra or something like that? Like, I decided to keep listening, and it's just I didn't know if I was gonna watch the national. I watched it. I wanted to watch it, and you know what the sad thing is?
They still talking about what they talking about Brady and shit.
You already know. That's the sad thing. It's like the whole time, like we've done all this. We want to say, oh, let me finally face the media and see what they're saying. Ain't nobody even care about. They still don't care. You know,
yeah,
like,
and that's the crazy part. Even for like the Bengals and the Rams, it's like it's really Brady. But I mean, that'll kick up next week, though. I feel like,
yeah, but
you know.
I
But
just,
yeah,
I just,
they're not even talking about us like that. Like it ain't even like a, you know. I mean, you hear a little bit of. It's not, but it's not like Shanahan. Like it's not hella
it's just Jimmy G
Shanahan.
topic,
Like
and
what
yeah.
fourth quarter leads. Like I don't know. Actually, I ain't watch First Take or nothing like that. I don't never watch that. But
But
yeah,
I mean, you
man.
see clips though on Twitter and stuff like
Yeah,
that every now
YouTube
and
and
then.
shit.
And yeah, right, YouTube, exactly. So, but I just, yeah, it's just a weird place as a 49er, as a fan of the team, because it's like, that whole topic of them not even talking about it. So it's interesting. We're a historic franchise. Our fan base is crazy. Like you see what we did in the playoffs. We've been historically, like, I mean, as bad as it seems, I was talking to my lady and I was like, this is just it's always going to be quest for six. I'm always going to be, it's like this, we do this, man. This is a lifestyle. Like for real, this is a lifestyle, period. Like, but I was like, I just don't feel like, I know it's just, drastic reaction when, fresh off of the loss in the NFC championship, but I just don't feel like I'm about to be hella like, I don't know, quest for six. Like, oh, we got to, the Super Bowl. Like, of course I want to win a Super Bowl. Of course, like, that's
I
everything.
mean,
But
because we going back to ground zero. Like it's like
I just,
mean,
I just,
the expectations they're gonna build back up, bro. It's just gonna like
yeah, but I just feel like I love sports. I love the NFL. I'm always going to be tapped in. I love this team. I'm always going to be like, the Willis era taught me that you can. This is the most loser thing to say, but it's true. It's like you can still have championship moments, and when you don't win the championship, because those players like Patrick Willis is a championship player. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't tell me he's not a championship player. It didn't work out. Things didn't work. He doesn't have the ring, but he's a championship player. And it's like, I learned that from like that era of football. But even with all that, like having said all those things, it's like, I just feel like I'm a fan of the draft. I'm a fan of free agency, a fan of what we decide to do with the team, how our coaching is doing, how our players are responding, each specific game during the season, being able to break it down with you and with the faithful, talking about it, seeing how the rest of the league shapes out. And like, I'm a fan of the NFL too, like seeing just the sport in general. But I just don't feel like, I just feel a little cursed with it. I feel a little cursed with it. I was telling my lady, I was like, the crazy thing about it is like, look at the NFC right now. It's Sean McVay and it's Kyle Shanahan, our teams. You can say what you want to say. We don't even know if Russ is going to be back next year. Aaron Rodgers, we already know about that. Tampa Bay, look, Tom Brady just retired. Look at the NFC South. Look at the NFC East. Look at the NFC North. Like, I just don't, there's not a lot to be afraid of out there. There's parity. I'm not saying that, we'll just be able to come and dominate. I'm just saying that there's no team where it's like, man, like it's going to be tough. We can't win next year because we have to go against this team. No. It's wide open. It's right there. But having said that, the NFL is a league where the best team gets the worst pick in the draft. The worst team gets the best pick in the draft. And Joe Burrow goes from number one pick in the draft to next year in the Super Bowl. You never can predict how these things work out. Like your window, there is no window. Like if you in it, you in it. Like there's no, like Tom Brady went to, with him retiring, they're talking about like all these crazy Tom Brady things. 19 of his 20 years in New England, he went to the playoffs, bro. 19 of his 20 years.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine? 19 of 20. Let's not even talk about the Super Bowls, bro. 19 of 20 years in the playoffs. That's crazy. It's like, and it's just like in this day and age, like that, I don't think that's ever happening again. And it's just not, it's not. Looking at our team and talking about like this, the Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals aspect of them being in the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Like, I just don't feel like it's wide open. The NFC West, the NFC is wide open. It's right there for the taking. And I still don't feel like anything can happen. And it just we haven't had that good luck. So I don't know. That's how I felt like pretty much all yesterday and today. It's not even like, I feel like you can hear that and be like, oh man, that's a depressing take. Mr. Optimism is being hella pessimistic. I don't even feel like it's like from my vantage point.
Bro, I thought you was vibing.
Yeah, I am vibing because I don't even like. That's my point. It's like I don't even feel like I'm being I'm being depressing. It's like I feel like it's just accepting the fact that like I'm not even gonna stress off that shit. Like the season is the season. There's highs and lows. It's about how Trey's gonna play this individual game, our first game of the season, preseason, free agents. Like I'm interested in all these aspects and all these ways that we're trying to build, and like it's the process, bro. Like
For
the
sure.
results.
I mean, that's what it. I mean, bro, we haven't won a Super Bowl. Like I said, we've never really like.
It's
Of course,
been that way.
Like, what else?
Yeah.
Like, what have we? Like, we're like, we ain't won a Super Bowl, bro, since 1994, bro. So, like I said, you probably didn't even see that. Like, so, like, that was the first time I ever like watched football. So, yeah, bro, like,
Yeah.
but the thing is, man, the thing about it is just you know, you say all this, we could say all this, but you know, they know how to wrap us in and to get us, you know, to get us emotionally invested. You know, to get that's just what it's about, bro. To being this fan,
Yeah.
being a fan is crazy. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I'm just
Yeah, you texted me that.
like, bro, like, and I'm just thinking about it though, like, this shit could really affect your whole mood, your outlook on certain things, and we don't make $1, not $1 from if the Niners win a Super Bowl. That doesn't give me money. Doesn't give me money. That doesn't like it. The people who we cheer for don't even know we exist. And if they win, that would make us happy. And the fact that that's just a crazy concept. You know,
It's
I mean,
not that crazy though, because I hear what you're saying as a concept, but and I don't mean to interject your point and steal your thunder, but I was watching the video. I think I may have sent it to you on the NFL meme page of the Cincinnati Bengal fan who was like 65 years old or something, or 70 years old, or whatever the case was, and he was just going crazy that the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, like going crazy. And I was like, bro, I was telling my lady, I was like, that's gonna be us, man. 60 years. Is that how long it's gonna take for us to win? Like 60 years old. But you know, it doesn't matter,
I
like
mean,
because
honestly, bro, we might die before they win it.
we might die. And like, but to the point, like, you know, it goes, you know, you know, I'm not, you know, her name is slipping my mind right now, but you know, on your wife's side, you know, her family member that passed away that had the plaque, you know what I'm saying, that was embroidered in the what was it? I don't know if it was Lakers or Niners. I want to say it was Niners. Like the plaque that she had. Anyways, the point I'm making is like this sports stuff, like that is what matters. You're talking about money and we don't get paid and it's crazy that it affects us as much, but like win or lose, this community of faithful, this community of 49ers fans, which the content this year is excellent. The content creators we have, excellent. I feel like our fan base, they traveled crazy. Like our fan base goes crazy. That's why it hurts so much because like we deserve it, man. I know every fan base deserves it and they can say whatever, but I just feel like we really deserve this shit, man. Like we the 49ers, man. Like it, like, and I feel like that's a very Cowboys thing to say, but I feel like we've actually done things like we've been in plenty of opportunities to actually have. We've had so much heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been there and gone so far. It's not like we're just going off of our name and we're the Cowboys. Like no, it's more than that. We're the Niners and we've done all this and we still haven't won. And it's just so disheartening for everybody involved in it. But that is the process. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what, you know, we think about 30 years from now. Like I remember so many dates in life based on the Niners. Oh, that happened in the year that I remember that because that's when I went to the New Orleans game. Or I remember that because that's when Willis made that play. Or I remember that's when that person's birthday is because that's right after the day that, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember things in different points, you know, in history and life just based off of these games because it's about those memories, those moments that we have. Like, bro, we went to the Rams game like week 18 this year, bro.
Yeah,
the first week
18. They can't take that away from us.
That was amazing. That was amazing. That was an amazing weekend.
That was the Super Bowl. That was our Super Bowl.
That was our Super Bowl. Like we had that was
like, you know, let's get into the loser talk. You know, yeah. Green Bay. That was the most happiest. Green Bay and then the Rams game. Those were the probably damn near the happiest I've been all year. Period.
Yeah, I mean it's only been a month, but yeah,
like you know, it just was like hella ecstatic, like, you know, that was just hella just like, oh my god, like this is cloud nine.
And
like,
it was and honestly, like aside from this, the context, right? Let's say it was a 6-3 game where we won at the last kick, like a last game winning field goal against the Rams, right? It still was like, you know, the Chargers and the Raiders had a crazy game right after that, but it was up to that point, it was the best game Like, it was the best game in the season. And I know I'm biased, but it was definitely top 3 best games in the season. It wasn't just like it was like, we made it happen. No, it was best game, and we've done that over the years. We've done that this year. And not just that game, but the Rams game in the beginning of the season. I remember that Monday night. Like, I remember like rocking my jersey out here in LA, going to the bodega, getting something to drink, and all the Rams fans and all the Niners fans that were out there, and like, talking before with all of them, and just how we came out. And that game was boring, bro. I remember like in the fourth quarter, I was about to fall asleep. I was like, we scraped them. Like it was Jimmy's best game. And I just feel like we've had those moments this season. I didn't even want to make this a reminisce show, but I mean, I guess like I just wanted to address, that whole, this is crazy that they had so much control over us. Yeah, but we also have control over it in the sense that like this is I'm able to tap in with you consistently. This makes our relationship, stronger, just the fact that we so frequently speaking to each other. You know what I mean? And it's a way to stay connected with not just our literal family, but our 49er family, and stay connected to a community, to something. Because, I mean, that's what you need in life, man. Like, somebody was breaking it down to me like a friend. If you want to find a friend, what you do is you find somebody that has a common interest as you. And that common interest group brings out friendship. That's what it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a gamer. Call of Duty is your thing. You find somebody who's a gamer across the world and they play in Call of Duty. Y'all become friends just because y'all love Call of Duty. Right. And so it's like the means to the end, or ends to the mean. Like, yeah, like Call of Duty is that thing that brought y'all together. The Niners is the thing that brought maybe some of us together. But there's relationships formed off of this. There's memories formed off of this. It's ups and downs and just passion in general. Because, good emotions, bad emotions. I was telling my lady too, like, win or lose, like there's not much that's going to change. Like, we're going to talk about it the same amount.
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna have the emotion. I mean, it's a negative or positive emotion. It's going to be extreme and it's going to be a lot. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. So
it's like, bro, there's always we're gonna have great moments. We're gonna have terrible moments. We're gonna have those disgusted moments. And we're gonna have those like, oh my gosh, we're about to this is like, we are them guys. We're the good guys. And then we're gonna have that's just what it come with, man.
Bro, look at this comment. I gotta shout out the homie Symmetry 7, man. He said, we gotta loosen up the expectations and let Trey shock both us and the NFL. Even though it won't be a shock to us, we kind of gotta treat it as such. That's how to avoid disappointment and impatience. So this is the comment where, like, I feel like as fans, I hear what you're saying, family. I hear what you're saying. But as fans, I feel like I think it's best and it behooves us to have balance in our approach and the way we think about things. Because, like, even with this Rams game, I think we had a conversation on Saturday, JB, about like, my mentality was like, I'm going to have expectations that we're going to win. I'm confident because I'm confident. I don't want to like psych myself out and be like downer just because like I think that like that's the way to be, because anything like, no, I'm like, I'm going to be confident and I'm going to have expectations, like, just because like I don't want to live life on the cautious side, trying to set myself up to not be, what I'm saying? On the flip side, you have to be realistic and you have to understand that that is a possibility that you're going to lose. Like, you have to have a little bit of both and just a perspective. I think what he's saying in the comment section is like, let's basically like be really low on Trey, because that's the only way that regardless of what happens, we'll be good with it. But it's like, you're also saying in the same sentence, it won't be a shot because we know he's really good. We just need to trick ourselves to thinking that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like have balance.
I feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's just saying like, let's not try to put this dude
go crazy. Pedestal.
On some pedestal, like on some like, all right, now we about to get saved. Like, now, okay, if we went this far with Jimmy, that means next year we should even be way better, because now we got a quarterback who could, make plays. So,
it's I think even more than that, like, it's tough because of the players we have on our team. Like, I feel like the expectations for Trey will be reasonable, but we were able to win with Jimmy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like, even if Trey doesn't have that great of a year, shouldn't we still be able to win?
We should. All right,
because of the players that we have, so like that's the issue. And then that creates pressure on Trey, where it's like, you have to win.
Jimmy wasn't a great quarterback. He wasn't, a quarterback who was going to make the plays. I guess right now, as I'm thinking about it, and I'm not a film or quarterback guru, but just the only thing where I'm like, can Trey do this as good as Jimmy? Which I don't think he can right away. Is just how Jimmy was just able to get the ball out quick. Like that was something he was good at. Being able to get the ball out quick, and that's pretty much what he was good at. Um, I mean, plus, I'm
Intangibles,
all that
the
all that
chin
good guy
line.
stuff.
Yep.
But like, it just felt like he's just able to get the ball out quick before the rush. A lot of times I feel like a lot of other people might have took sacks when Jimmy wasn't taking sacks, and so I don't know, just with like that type of aspect of Trey's
I
game.
don't know. Jimmy took a lot of sacks though too,
No,
bro.
he did, but I just feel
Yeah,
like a lot of times he was able to get the ball out quick. Like that to me was just like one of his strong suits.
mhm,
Um, and so yeah, it'd be
absolutely.
interested to see.
It was elite.
Yeah, man.
I feel like it's fair to say that aspect of his game was elite.
Right. And so, that's an aspect of his game that Trey doesn't have that, and I don't think, that's just like I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna ever get that, if he even needs that, if
Yeah.
because he's gonna play his way. But but yeah, man, did you listen to Shanahan and Lynch today?
Yeah, man. I listened to Jimmy. I listened to Shanahan and Lynch. I listened to most of the players from yesterday. Really, none of them stood out to me pretty much at all. Too
Yeah,
much other than hearing Trey saying that he's best friends with Jimmy, which I just thought was a very
that's what
immature
Shanahan
comment.
said. It was a
Yeah,
21-year-old.
yeah. I thought I was telling my lady yesterday. I was like, I'm like, damn, Trey is hella young. Like, why would he say that? Like that. Like it's like I bet Jimmy was like, we just shooting the shit. We just talking, y'all. I was saying to her, I bet Jimmy was like treating him like shit the whole year. I bet he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like all that media, like, oh yeah, he's a great. I'm sure. And again, like I'm sure Jimmy's a great guy. The guys,
Jimmy
vouch
wasn't
for him. They
treating
go
him like
for.
shit, bro. He don't have a mean. He's not a mean guy.
I,
Like Jimmy don't even get. Yeah, he probably might have not been hella nice, but Jimmy is like a real nice guy. That's to me how I feel like. Like he just seems like a nice guy.
yeah, that's my Jimmy impression. You didn't get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, it was but
You know, this is a nice guy, man. Like I can't see him being hella mean. Like
I hear
you
you,
know.
but
But it was funny though when they asked Jimmy about that best friend shit. Like
yeah,
he
he
didn't
didn't
even acknowledge that part.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, like, why did you say that? Like that, I just feel like that was the corniest, like, weakest thing to say. Like, it's fine. I was just like, damn, like he's a young guy, and like he's got a. It was just interesting. That was just one of the things that stood out to me. But then from today, in terms of hearing from Jimmy first and foremost, and then I watched the Shanahan and Lynch, which I guess I should have done the other way around. But touching on Jimmy first, I thought the thing that stood out to me the most was him saying that, he wants to leave things better than when he came. You know what I mean? And like, say what you want to say anything you want, but like, he's doing that for sure. Like the team is better
Wait, say that
now.
one more time. Say that again.
Just his comment about wanting to leave things better than
Oh yeah.
when he came.
Mhm.
I just feel like that was that was beautifully said, because that's one thing you definitely can say. Now you can argue about like, oh, well, that's because really it's the same time Shanahan came, and it's like one thing I was thinking about was like comparing Jimmy and his tenure over these past years to Shanahan and his tenure, because I feel like I'll ask you, but like when I was thinking about it, I was like innately I look at Jimmy in a much more positive light than I look at Shanahan. Is
In
that how do
terms
you
of what you
like?
mean?
Do you look at okay? So let me ask it this way: in the last 4 years, right? Looking at, and I know it's a little bit jaded because Jimmy's had injuries, so Shanahan's had to deal with, it's more jaded because Jimmy's had injuries. But in the past 4 years, how do you look at Shanahan and how do you look at Jimmy G? And is it like, do you look at one highly than the other in terms of like how you feel about them? You know what I'm saying? In the
Oh,
tenure so far.
well, okay. I think number one, our emotions are more like more for me. I'm speaking to myself. My emotions are more like damn Jimmy right now because it's like he's leaving. So it's kind of like, it's like he's leaving. Like if Shanahan were leaving, then I think, but it's like with Shanahan, I don't know. I guess we've probably got more upset at him um, throughout his time because when you're going through the losing and stuff, like you kind of you're gonna take it out on the head coach. And then Jimmy, he got hurt, so kind of like that year when he got hurt, it was like okay, like that's not your fault. So then you kind of when Shanahan's struggling with Beathard and all those guys, you getting mad at Shanahan. Like those terrible seasons when Jimmy was hurt, it was like we upset, we losing
And,
games.
and it's like, how do you process injury? Because it's like, again, like, of course, like, that's nothing against Jimmy G, the nice guy, the intangible guy who's a winner and who's won when we've had him here. It's like, you can't, like, he got hurt. What are you going to do? But in terms of like the value of him and him as like a contributing factor to our team and whatnot, it's like, that is a knock against him because availability is a part of your ability. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it just,
right.
it's like it's hard to like, when you look at a press conference like today and he's talking about all these, ups and downs, it's like, it's hard to like lose sight of like those injuries. I mean, there, like you said, there are, there's the New Orleans game, the Arizona game, but then there's the Miami game, the Colts game this year, or the think of a bad game. There's been plenty of games that were
Seattle game.
stinkers. The
Seattle
Seattle
game.
Sure, exactly. Pick one. So, it's I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough, but I was thinking about that question, and I was pretty much looking at Jimmy in a more favorable light innately, like just in the beginning when I was like, thinking about it. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, no, I feel like, I kind of look at, it's not the best question because it's definitely not apples to apples. It's definitely like a mixed bag because, Shanahan, it's not only the offense, it's the defense. And we've had a lot of defensive success over the years, really more so than we've had offensive success. You can argue definitely. And so, there's a lot of things in that, but overall, that was the thing that stood out to me the most from Jimmy's presser is his comment about leaving the team better than when he came there. And that's definitely true. He's definitely laid the foundation, helped lay the foundation for this iteration, this new generation of this 49ers team. And, I think the whole, looking back at this year and, I'll get to like Shanahan and Lynch's comments about that in a little bit, further, but what are some of the takeaways that you had from hearing from Jimmy at this presser?
I mean, when he said, what he say? He said, the ups and downs. But he said, "I love you" to the faithful. I was like, Jim just said he loved me, bro. That shit hit me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that shit really hit me. Like he said, "I love you" to the faithful, and I don't know. I mean, it could be whatever, but it felt genuine. It felt genuine, and that's why I'm like, it just was like, it's just different, bro. Because it's like, especially with players, like they come and go, and then a lot of times, like, and especially in a situation like this, like you could just see how this could go easily, like not even left, but just like where, it's kind of like, all right, peace, I'm out. Like, Jerick McKinnon, I'm out. Like, whatever. Not to say he was gonna be like that, but it just could easily be like that. And it just the way Jimmy left, and the way Jimmy was throughout this whole year, and the way he left, and the way he even at the very end, which it seems like it is the very end, said, said that. I'm like, damn, like I don't remember a player leaving like on these type of terms, and really being able to do it with, and everybody used the word class and whatever, but he really is a class act.
You're really getting to my point, but that really transitions into, and we got a lot of comments here, so I definitely want to get to those in 1 second, but it really transitions into the Shanahan and Lynch presser, because I feel like overall, when you look at the whole situation, like you said, it's very rare I got to give props to the organization. I do, because it's like, I feel like clarity is the main constant in all this. That's what it seems to be. And clarity leads to happiness. Clarity leads to understanding. Clarity leads to like, yeah, this is a fucked up situation I feel like I'm in. This is I can't believe y'all doing this, but like, y'all let me know what it was. Y'all told me every step of the way exactly what it was and what you're thinking, what's going on. Like, you've been straight up. So like, what am I gonna really be upset about? Like, there's other teams that look at Tom Brady didn't even announce the Patriots in his retirement post. He didn't even mention the Patriots in it. You know, like we've heard the stories in the back and forth. Like it wasn't the easiest exit, and that's somebody who's won Super Bowls with that organization, man. Like it's Tom Brady. Come on now, like if he's having that experience, then what is Jimmy G expected to have? Like, you know, and so just for Shanahan and Lynch to keep the thing going, and to be honest, you said it was the most unique way, or one of the most unique ways for something to kind of end in this way. Think about how it started this year. We traded up to number 3 with 3 months to go in the draft. I don't know if it was 3 months. It was at least a month, right? We traded up way in advance, right? That had never really been done before, right? And so, like, I feel like that also goes to the Jimmy conversation. It's like they were like, you know, in communication then, and they were like, we're looking at Sam Darnold, we're looking at, you know, they looked at all these various options, you know, throughout the whole time, and you know, they were able to keep everything, you know, for a smooth year, as smooth as it can be with all the, you know, turmoil.
Right. No, I feel it like, you know, they communicated, and you know, that's like you said, like how, you know, but people are like, all right, just dealing with people, you could deal with somebody and like do everything right, and people still react hella different and crazy, and like, you know, even if you know what I'm saying, like it is, even if
Yeah,
you do like,
absolutely.
I'm gonna do it the right way, and then it's like, but this situation is like, okay, you're doing it the right way.
But
Even if
you gotta give props to the coaching staff, the organization, and you gotta give props to Jimmy. You gotta give props
right,
all around for like the
yeah,
clarity
no,
on both sides and how they went through it. Yeah.
I'm definitely giving props all around. I guess it's just like, you know, just Jimmy leaving, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's like he's leaving, and and it was an era, and it was like, you know, you starting to like realize, like, you know, think about the era, the Jimmy G era, and it was like, man, like, no, we really, you know, he gave us that hope. You know, them that Tennessee game, like that was like hella big. I remember just being able to watch this like on like the drive, the fourth quarter drive, and it's like, okay, we finally getting some respect now, man. We in these shows, they showing the final drive.
He's talking about Tennessee from 5 years ago, not Tennessee from this year, by the way.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm talking about you know, talking to Trent Taylor, like, you know, hey, go that way. You know, he can't keep up with your quickness. You know, it just like that gave us so much hope. And then we went to, I mean, he got hurt, but we went to a Super Bowl with him in New Orleans game. It was an era, man. It was an era. And
I'm trying to think right now, like when was there a game when Alex Smith was on the Chiefs and came back, or on the Washington football team and came back to play the Niners at Levi's or Candlestick? Did that ever happen?
He didn't come back, but we played him last year though. Remember, we played him last year with Nick Mullins.
Right, but that wasn't. I mean, it's last year, so it didn't count because it was, you know, we didn't. That
was in Washington. It was
yeah. So I'm saying,
I think it was in Arizona. I think.
Oh, maybe, yeah, probably was in Arizona, but crazy. Last year was crazy. But did he ever have a game where he came back?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did, because I was wondering like the reception that, like, you know, Alex Smith would get versus one that Jimmy would get, because I feel like Jimmy's gonna get a roaring.
Wait, no, he did, bro. We played Alex Smith when he was playing with the Chiefs.
At home?
Yep, and they had Jamal Charles, and we barely beat him that game.
I don't remember that. I do not remember that.
It was I want to say it was the 2004, the year after the NFC. I think it was like, wait, it was either Harbaugh's last year or the year.
It wasn't Harbaugh's last year. Anyways, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. But in any case, do you remember what the reception was for Alex Smith? Like, did he get any sort of?
I don't remember. And yeah, I don't remember. I gotta put Jimmy Garoppolo holds way bigger spot to me than Alex Smith did, but that's just me. I respect Alex Smith for what he did, but I don't know. I'm just being honest. Like Jimmy G, like I don't know. Like this whole, maybe I'm a little more tapped into now when as opposed to Alex. I didn't honestly, when Alex was drafted, bro, I wasn't watching Niners like that.
Yeah, and Alex, it's different too, because like you can even argue. I know they're very different quarterbacks. Their playoff staffs are absolutely different, but like I know they're different quarterbacks. But like just for the sake of like bringing up the dynamic of them and the dichotomy of them, like Alex Smith drafted number 1. What does that mean? High expectations. You know, like you're just gonna take some time, but like over that time, it's like it's not panning out. Like we're really, really low on you. We're booing you. All these sort of things, and then we have this coach come in and we kind of lift you back up, and it's like, you know, you leave, but like we kind of already were kind of down on you, and it's like, you know, fine. Jimmy G, we trade for him again. High expectations. What happens? Instantly winning whenever he gets the opportunity, winning. Like every time he plays, winning. And then he got hurt, and like injuries are a part of it. But like he won when he was here. So I feel like that is why, even if if they ended at the same kind of spot, I feel like Jimmy G would be looked at with more admiration. Even just because of the conditions at which he came, kind of was the first domino in getting our team to competitive nature, right? And then we had a great team and all these things that happened, after it. Whereas with Alex Smith, it was kind of the other way around. Like he was kind of put all the way down. Then we had to have a new coach come, bring everything up. And it was like, okay, like Alex Smith in the Saints game, bro. Are you kidding me? Alex Smith Saint game. We had some crazy Saint games, like the Alex Smith Saint game and the Jimmy G Saint game. The Alex Smith clearly in the playoffs. Jimmy G was a huge playoff run though, but the Alex Smith Saint game, that I had so much respect for him in that. Like that was
epic. That was epic.
Like so I don't know.
That was his moment.
And Alex Smith is a little bit like, I feel like everything that happened in Kansas City, but more importantly in Washington with his leg and all, like I feel like that makes it, people have another level of inherent appreciation and stuff for him. Like they look back at his time with the 49ers even more fondly, I think, than it probably was, because there's so much respect and admiration for him after what he did with us. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like he gets a little bit of double credit for that. So in any case, let's get to some of these comments before you move on, man. I like this comment about about the fans and how fans get paid in happiness, entertainment, and connectivity. Yeah, this is a solid trade. We do pay a lot of that money though, man. It'd be nice if these tickets for these playoff games weren't astronomical and whatnot.
And we don't always get paid in happiness. Obviously, we get paid in heartbreak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had a question about the free agency in the offseason. Okay. Would you keep McGlinchey? He's owed $10.8 million on the 5th-year option. I say trade him. I mean, who are you going to trade him for? It's tough. I think like there was definitely the period you said piece. There's definitely the period like where Tom Compton was, I didn't see any difference. And then in the last 2 games, it was, he didn't have his best games. But I feel like there's a lot of good free agents, tackles that are going to be most likely out of our price range, because there's no, the offensive line playing the NFL isn't stellar. So when those guys hit the market, whether it's the team trying to retain them or another team trying to get them, talking about the Orlando Browns of the world, the Tyrod Armsteads of the world, like those guys, they're going to collect a pretty penny. But if we could get make a splash move for a tackle, that would be awesome. I think it would be awesome for Trey to get him like a solidified line. Our skill position looks really solid next year, especially when you consider, like, I was thinking about the running back thing. I think it's Trey Sermon over Jeff Wilson Jr. I think Jeff Wilson Jr.'s got to go. If you're not going to play him in the playoffs and, not spill him with, Elijah Mitchell, like Kyle Shanahan did for the past 3-4 games, and what's the point of having him on the team? I know Trey Sermon hasn't played at all, but he's a younger player. He's, I would rather feel comfortable with bringing Mostert back, having Trey Sermon, having Elijah Mitchell, having Juszczyk, and is that it? Am I missing a running back? I feel like I'm missing a running back.
Hey, bro, speaking on running backs, just thinking about the 2nd and 1, the infamous Eric Weddle 2nd and 1. I'm just like, bruh. I'm just like, thinking about hindsight and like Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson was I feel like Elijah Mitchell was kind of banged up at this point, and just
Jeff Wilson might have fumbled though, according to Shanahan.
I know he had them, but Jeff Wilson also was just downhill. Jeff Wilson might have got that, bro, but
yeah,
coulda, woulda.
Yeah, I hear you, but it'd be interesting to see what we do along that. Going back to the question with the offensive line, I definitely McGlinchey. The way I was, do you remember what the injury was? It was a torn quad.
McGlinchey?
Yeah,
it was a torn confidence.
Come on, bro. Anyways, I think it was a torn quad. All right, you set me up on that one. I think it was a torn quad, and sometimes when I like listen to football, right? Like we fans, we like talking about it. Like we go through this. We love this team. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's coming off of an Achilles. This guy's coming off of whoop whoop. It's like, bruh, a torn quad. Like, bro, what is that? How does that feel?
That gotta hurt.
Like a torn quad. Like I honestly like it's something for me where like I think I heard from some areas like, is he even gonna come back? Okay, like is he gonna be good coming into next year? Like we're asking, like, do we keep him or
I mean,
don't know.
I just never really was like, if he's costing $10 million, I'm like, why would we pay him that? Like, he's not.
Yeah, I don't know what the cap
He never
situation
was
is. I don't
really
know.
like.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not like he's not a great tackle like that. So
He left and we didn't see any drop off at all. Okay.
Exactly.
Let me just like there's no drop off at all. So if he costs that much when we can get Todd Compton and whatever, like, why would we? I don't know what his finances are. I don't know what the situation is. I know this is just a comment here. I'd have to really look into that. I don't know if we can from my understanding, it's his 5th year option. I thought we already exercised it, but I guess we didn't. And we'll see what happens with McGlinchey. It seems like the team loves him. I don't know why, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Greenlaw hitting the trading block? I never heard that. I didn't know that was the case. If it is the case, one angle of thought is like we do really well at linebacker. We'll be able to get another one, but I just feel like we've already kind of given up a few linebackers. Say it again.
I haven't heard that
about him being on the trading block. Yeah, I haven't heard it either. But I wouldn't chance drafting just another outstanding linebacker. I mean, Greenlaw, I didn't really like the way Greenlaw finished this year, but maybe that was just because he was super antsy. You know what I mean?
What'd you say?
There was a few, I don't know. I just didn't really. Greenlaw was underwhelming to me the way he closed out the year, just from what I saw. I could go back and look at it. Maybe I'm tripping, but I just feel like, especially was it the Cowboys game where he looked like he was just coked up or whatever the case was. He was going crazy, just like all the penalties and all the
That was the Rams game, the first game, bro.
He was the Rams game. He was going crazy.
No, but hey, I like that though.
It's good. You need that on the team too. Like it's a double. Yeah, you need that. You need that though. I give you that. But I like Azeez. I like Azeez and Warner. And we need depth too. So I feel like why wouldn't we bring back Greenlaw? Even like he's not costing anything, and I just feel like what are you going to really trade him for? Like who's going to trade? Like what?
Bring Greenlaw back, man.
Yeah,
like
that's easy.
Greenlaw, like he was hurt this year. Like that's the thing too. He really this year was a wash basically. Like he barely played this year. But when he was playing, like he still. I mean, he's dangerous, man. He's somebody you want on your team. Like I wouldn't want to be, playing against him like that.
He said, man, Lynch and Shanahan really put trust in Jimmy. Hurt and all, they stuck with him. Shout out to Jimmy for pressing through even the criticism. Well, they stuck with him because they were stuck with him. Honestly, I don't know how much credit you can fully give them, because if other options presented themselves, Jimmy would be gone probably. He's on the team now because we went the route of the draft. If we went the route of Matthew Stafford and we're able to do that, Matthew Stafford would be on the team, right? If we went the route, there's a lot of things that were rumored. And, the crazy thing about this offseason, about all these opening spots for quarterbacks and where people going to go is like that Deshaun Watson, I still haven't heard one thing on the, like, his career is I'm just going to assume it's over until it's not, because we haven't heard anything about that. But, there's rumors about Deshaun even, and, other things of that nature. So, I don't really, yes, in retrospect, we stuck with him, but I think that's because we were stuck with him. So that's just my 2 cents.
Back.
Again, like I said, the running back group, I definitely feel like Mostert brought. I watched back those Rams game before this game, on this championship game. I watched back a lot of the Rams games from previous years, and Mostert, the element of speed that he brings, I feel like we need on our team. I know he has injury history. We talk about injured guys, but I feel like Mostert and Verrett, if they're going to be as cheap as they're probably going to be, and Verrett may not even play next year, I don't know, but I feel like it'd be good to have both of those guys on the team at very, 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 very cheap contracts, and leave it at that.
And I feel like, Verrett is way more risky, in my opinion, than Mostert. Like Mostert, like he didn't even what did he do like to his knee?
He played about. I don't know what the injury was, but he played 5 snaps for us this year or whatever.
No, I know. I'm just saying, Verrett got like how many torn ACLs he got? Like torn Achilles. Like you feel me? It's just a little.
Mostert does have injury history too, though. He has injury.
No, but it's just, to me, it just feels a little more severe injuries with Verrett, and Mostert. Like he Mostert, I feel like if he didn't have surgery, he could have came back. I feel like later in the year, but he decided to like end the year.
Yeah, man.
And it's like I don't know, Verrett, I don't know, but Mostert, I just feel like, man, just might as well take a chance on that. Like, that's if you have Mostert, then if you're able to get
It's
that, then
another dynamic that just makes you. I mean, especially with Debo, and you got Elijah
yeah,
Mitchell now. Then
like
you're,
the new Debo too. Like
it's,
this is like Debo with
and then you got Trey Lance.
exactly.
Like, there's another element to all this. Like, oh yeah, bring back Mostert, sign me up. And if you don't, you definitely need to draft, somebody that has incredible speed. But there's nobody that doesn't exist. This doesn't exist. It's once in every 2 drafts, once in every 3 drafts that there's one player that's Chris Johnson speed, Tyreek Hill. Like the guys don't have that speed. They don't. So it's like that trait alone. Like, look at the question this way. Like Mostert has a skill that is the most elite in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have any player that has something that's like, oh, you do this better than any other player, that's pretty special. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd want to keep that even if you can get it for a low amount. So his speed is it's a problem. This was crazy about Alex Smith, man. 1 touchdown and 11 interceptions in his rookie season. Was that really what the stats were? That's wild, bro. That is wild. 1 in 11?
Like, so that's at least Trey got to sit this year. I mean,
he's Trey already has more than one. Trey has how many touchdown passes? He got what, 3 touchdowns? He has 2 touchdown run. Trey's already got some stats and some experience, so that definitely bodes well for him. I don't know if he broke his leg. I think it was like a torn quad or something like that. Pay Greenlaw. Oh, I don't not agree with that. First of all, pay Azeez. I'm Team Azeez over Greenlaw, but I think we need Greenlaw's element. If it does get to a point where we have to pay him a lot of money, like that's out. We're already paying Fred. We got to pay Azeez. Like, we can't play all this linebacker money, man. Like, come on now. Like,
I'm not finna get no Fred money.
Yeah, I just feel like one thing about the media thing too, and like not really covering us, and like it's just kind of sad where it's like, oh, let's face the media after we lose, but like nobody's still really talking about us because people don't really care that much. I think one aspect of that too is like I just feel like our players that are really good, like DJ Jones, or you can even put Greenlaw into that category. I just don't know if like on the mainstream media scale and whatnot that people really know how good these guys are, and I get NFL. People got scouts for every team, so it's kind of naive to say like the other NFL teams don't know. But I just feel like the value of some of our guys is like higher for us than it is for other teams, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel like these guys are going to be demanding crazy contracts and stuff, but for us, like, they're really good depth players that we need. You know what I mean? Like a DJ Jones. And Kinlaw.
But people respect our defense around the league, so they're gonna try to pick off people. You feel me? And there's gonna be competition. I feel like to. Like DJ Jones, he's gonna have a market,
Yeah, and we have Kinlaw, so it's like I'm really not excited for Kinlaw. We'll see what he can bring next year, but I'm really not excited. I hope he, I hope he doesn't end up.
Kinlaw had a good rookie year though, bro. Like I feel like this year, like I remember watching the preseason game against the Raiders, and I was like, damn, he was getting thrown around, but he was probably hurt.
It's not, and it's not just Kinlaw. It's also like, what he represents, because I guess 2 things can be true, because I was going to say I like Armstead going inside clearly because he was playing so much better, even though he did nothing in the NFC Championship game, but that's another story. But I still want to see Armstead inside, even if Kinlaw's going to be inside. So let's keep both of them inside and just leave it like that, man. What else we got? Yeah, I think that's all pretty much caught up with all the comments right now. I don't know if you had any other thoughts on the John Lynch Shanahan press or anything that they said, anything from Jimmy's press or anything from any of the exit interviews, or any thoughts on the crazy topics today, whether that's Tom Brady retiring, Brian Flores situation, any comments on anything as we close out?
Man, I don't know. I guess something that was sticking out to me when you said any more thoughts on the John Lynch. Like, just kind of like, the rumor that Boomer Esiason had.
What? Yeah, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, man, and it just was like, I don't know. It just made me feel like I remember John Lynch said he's not going to be a lifer, and
Oh yeah,
nobody is.
yeah. This
Nobody
is
is.
put some stress on him for sure.
Yeah, but
And the way he answered that question was like, "Oh, are thinking about it?" Because anytime somebody says right now, I'm like, "Oh, okay."
but yeah, and then talking about opportunity, it's like, okay, so it just like, yeah, I'm sure, it's not going to be this year, but that's something that, man, we better be looking for another GM,
Yeah.
or a contingency plan, type shit.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I took away from their press conference was I feel like Shanahan, he said some things where it was like, did he pick Trey Lance? You know,
Wow.
I'm saying that somewhat facetiously. I'm not like, being kind of serious, but he said some things like Shanahan was saying, and this whole season, he said a lot of things that you would kind of expect more of the GM to say in terms of the Jimmy Trey situation. Like, John Lynch say something like, yeah, this is the situation. The guys were, we just finished the season, so we got to process a lot of things to do, and yada yada yada. And Shanahan would follow up or say something like, "Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, he did what he had to do. He played great. We love Jimmy. He's been excellent. He's been like we really." It's like, bro, like okay, like he already said, like it just to me it seemed kind of like, and it's been like that for me. You have these thoughts during the year, like it just kind of it's not really about Trey. It's more so about Jimmy and the way Kyle views Jimmy. I would think that with the trade, you would think that like, the way the preseason was going, you just kind of got the sense like, okay, like, yeah, and just how everything, all the quarterback talk, all the different, quarterbacks we've been linked to and stuff and rumors and reports, you would think, okay, they're trying to get rid of Jimmy. They've seen enough. But Shanahan, like he said, the press conference of the NFC Championship game, he loves Jimmy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
It's just
I
interesting to
honestly,
me. I
hey
don't,
man, the way I read that
yeah,
situation
how you
though,
read
I
it?
kind of read that situation that like I don't think I think Jimmy likes John. I think
Mm,
Shanahan is
mm,
probably kind of tired of Jimmy.
mm,
Honestly, I think he's like it's just Jimmy is Jimmy. Everybody loves Jimmy, so it's like he's. But I think
mm,
I don't know. I just feel like Shanahan's and Jimmy's relationship. Um, I'm not saying it's like bad, but it just to me it seems like I'm sure Jimmy. I don't want to say I'm sure, but I feel I could see Jimmy just being like, I don't really rock with you, Shanahan. Like not like on some I'm about to, you're but just I don't really like you, man. Like I
mhm.
don't like you, and that's kind of how I feel, and that's kind of like because you don't feel wanted. He doesn't want you. Like even though played him this year, started him this year, that's because Shanahan I feel like is a he has a temperature of his team and locker room, and
Yeah.
he's not trying to rush into Trey things. He's not trying to ruin Trey, and he's plays it real. He plays it real like how Shanahan plays it, like what he thinks is right. So I
Yeah,
think
well, I would say that I only think maybe like 6 or 7 quarterbacks probably do like their head coaches in defense, you know what I'm saying? But I hear your point though for sure.
right.
Like I see your interpretation for sure. It just seems like Shanahan would say some things that are more GM like to say sometimes, and it's like, well, why it's like he's the one trying to pump up Jimmy's trade value right now and make it like, no, he might come back. I mean, there's a possibility of that depending how things go. Like Shanahan's the one saying all those things, and it's like, I mean, what? Like, just why? I mean, I don't know. Like you've been harping on this clarity and being clear and transparent the whole time. Like, why not just do that with the media or just But
Yeah,
you never know.
Jimmy
Oh,
is like Jimmy's gone. Like in his mind, he's like, no, I'm not. Jimmy's like, this is it. Like this ain't. I'm not doing this no
well,
more.
if you feel like he felt that, I don't know. I don't know. I guess two things can be true. He can feel that way, and he can not want to play Trey Lance because he doesn't think Trey's ready and doesn't trust that he'll. Like two things can be true. So I hear your point.
Like what you
Um,
mean?
Just like in terms of, I think one of the questions and the counters to what you're saying that you think Shanahan's sentiment is about Jimmy and being done with him and seeing enough is like, if that was really the case and
No,
stuff,
no,
then
I was
why
saying
not play Trey?
I think no, I was thinking like when Shanahan, I was saying like Jimmy, like how Shanahan and Lynch are kind of like we still haven't like
Yeah.
they
Uh-huh.
fully didn't commit to like him going type. Like they still got to evaluate it, and I
Yeah.
just feel like Jimmy was just like, bro, like this is it. Like
Yeah.
I'm done.
Bye. Peace. I love you guys. Love the fans. And
I can't
yeah,
do this
just
anymore.
yeah. Yeah. Right. He's working with his agent on something. So we'll see what happens with that. I think last thing I'll say is like the way that everything transpired on both of their ends. I feel like the way that we're going to spend this offseason, I was thinking like we're not going to get a really good offer for Jimmy. There is still a possibility that we just cut him because we're not going to get the right offer. But I think now like it might be like a trade, for a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick and like maybe some compensation exchange, but like something where it's like, the team's going to say after, well, we wanted to work with Jimmy and find a partner for him that he wanted. And, we had some other offers out there, some better offers out there, but, we wanted to do right by Jimmy for all that he's done for, like, I feel like that's what's definitely going to be coming when he does eventually get traded. They're going to spin it like, they had better offers, but they wanted to do right by him when that's going to be the best offer.
Hey, bro, we finna trade him to like the Texans.
Right. Exactly. Like we wanted to do right by Jimmy. The Houston organization is class, we know whoever's going to come in to coach them is going to really know that they're getting a good quarterback.
That would be epic, bro. If you'd be like, man, he said, I just want to go to somewhere who wants to win.
I know. Yeah. Trade him to the Texans, bro, with Davis Mills. But yeah, man, real quick, I mean, we could talk about this another time. I know it's already an hour in, so we can close out soon, but I really want to quickly comment on the Brian Flores situation because I just thought it was like, I was shooting all day. You had texted and FaceTime me earlier, and I was like busy because I was, at work, doing something throughout the pretty much the whole day. Just got back here and instantly went to do this podcast. That's why we were a little bit late. And, I just catching up on everything on my phone. It's like seeing all this Brian Flores news, Tom Brady. Like, there's so many stories going on, so it was a lot. But the Brian Flores thing is really fascinating to me, just on the strength of, he's a coach who's filing a lawsuit. This is a coach young in his career. He's not like a, Vic Fangio type where he's been around for a while and like, had to, pay his dues and finally got opportunity. But he's been in the league for, a good amount of time. Like he's young in his career and he had like, there was some turmoil of what really happened, like, all the rumors and stuff, but it's like, he had like, it was a surprising fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a coach that we thought was going to get hired quick. And then all these other stories came out trying to, disparage his name, allegedly saying like, the relationship. But then like, there's the stories about the owner, the whole Tom Brady situation. First, it's the whole Tom Brady situation and basically like, trying to tamper and like him saying, no, I'm not going to do that. And then and the owner basically setting up a situation where he wanted him to basically talk to Tom Brady. You hear about that?
I mean, I didn't know the specifics.
So basically, like, just in summary, like the owner wanted to have Brian Flores talk to Tom Brady, text Tom Brady, see what his interest was in terms of the free agency and him, considering Miami. Brian Flores was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to like, first of all, I'm not going to do that because it's a tampering. Second of all, you'd said this was a rebuilding thing. Like, this is not part of the plan of rebuilding and like the plan that we have and the vision that we have for this team. Like, this does not fit. I do not want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So he did not want to do it. And then the owner was like, fine. And then like basically he had some meetings set up where the owner had him on some like boat or whatever the case was, this whole situation. And Tom Brady just happened to be at the other dock or something like in that same time period. He was like, oh, Tom's over there. Let's like basically he set up a situation where he was like, he wanted him to talk to Tom and see if he can like, talk to him about coming to the Dolphins and yada, yada, yada. And Brian Flores was like, he left. He was like, no, I'm not doing this. And that put a strain in the relationship, along with the owner basically wanting them to tank and offering $100,000 for every game that they lost.
Right. I seen that. So yeah, man. I mean,
allegedly.
Right. So this is how me.
Aside from this isn't even going into like the Rooney Rule. Like people say racism, but it's like it's really
and the Belichick thing, and then
the Belichick. This is not even talking about those things. Like those are.
So, but like this is what I was talking to my boy about Nitty. We was talking about it. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, man. Like, I mean, definitely in the public eye right now, he's winning. He's like, but it's like, man, in the court of law with the NFL, like, you're gonna really have to come with it and really have to, for them to like, the NFL, they already taking their stance. They like, no.
Oh, I disagree with you. I 100% disagree with you. They're going to settle. This is going to lead to a settlement. He's going to get cashed out.
Well, I'm saying, but I'm saying this though. This is all I'm saying. If you could prove, if like he just need to be able to really prove it. Like, you have to have that evidence.
No, he doesn't. No, he
Huh?
doesn't. No, he doesn't. The allegation is already
I
out there.
mean,
This is a
I
big
mean, the
business. They're gonna
NFL is
settle. What
already
happened?
told, they are NFL is already saying that that this has no merit.
It
So they're
doesn't
already
matter,
they're
bro.
already
This is how.
saying
This
what
is
they're
that's what
I'm saying they're
that's
saying what their stance is.
how
They're
much you
saying
want
what their stance is.
to. How much you want to bet that it's settled though? It's gonna end up in a settlement. Like this is a big business. This is how these things go. That's what happened with Cap. That's
I'm
what
not,
happened.
yeah, it might end up in a settlement or whatever, but I'm
With,
just saying, like, I mean, just in terms of him getting, like, it's like, I just feel like this. He's gonna have to be able to, he's making these, he's stirring the pot right now. And
he's
it's
starting
just
to
like,
fight. He's
okay,
gonna
like,
get.
like I said, in the media, like you have everybody in the media and, like, kind of on his side right now, siding with him.
That's part of it though, bro. The media is part of this whole thing.
No, I
The
know, but I
NFL,
mean,
that's
but
why
the
people
courts,
settle. That's why the
the
NFL.
courts is different though. When you get in that courtroom and when you get with these lawyers and these NFL lawyers and these, they and
Yeah,
if they
but that's
if they decide like, no, we not about to.
But you don't feel like this is similar to the Cap situation?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, and they settled with him, but Cap's still not in the league though. You feel me?
It's not about. I'm not talking about that aspect. You were talking about the court aspect and him having to prove things, and that's not.
But I'm saying, like,
it's gonna end up.
Cap, I know, but it's like, I mean, I know Cap I know Cap won, but it's like, I mean, I guess
He
he
didn't
won.
win. They
It's like,
settled. They settled. But
right.
that's what he wanted to
But
do
I'm
at the end of
saying,
the
yeah,
day. And I think
I don't know how much.
that's the case here too. I mean, he brought the lawsuit up. There's text messages that are out in public knowledge now. The media is going to get more and more and more like that. This is how this.
I guess my point is this, bro. Like Brian Flores, like I think he wants to coach. I mean, like
I know that's why this is fascinating. He's young in his
Right.
career. He came out. It's like this is not. He may not coach again.
exactly.
No,
And
I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah, he may not coach again. That's why this is so crazy.
It's
That's why
like
this is so
you're
crazy.
doing this and you're not, like, you feel me? It's like all right.
But I'm coming at from the angle of like that's why I respect it though. It's like this is just an interest. It's more so me. I'm just interested in this story. I'm like very interested in this because it's like it's so out of left field where it's like, man, like you seem to be a promising coach. Before the season ended, like let's say a game before the season ended, we're looking at Brian Flores who won 8 games in a row. Was it 8 or 9 games in a row after starting 1-8 or whatever they did, 2 back-to-back winning seasons for Miami, which hasn't happened in, I don't know, 20 years or however many years it's been since maybe the Dan Marino era, right? And it's like to look at where it's at now, where he may not coach again. That's just a very interesting story.
And then I guess I'm like, damn, like I don't know. I don't know the fact. I don't know hella shit about this. So I'm just
say your opinion, whatever. You just talking.
My
whatever.
thing is
Go
like,
ahead.
my thing is like this. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, are you getting hella mad because like, I feel like, are you and your feelings, it seem like you lashing out right now.
Because you won't get because they not even but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, you got fired, and then it's like, then you're not about to probably get hired this round. So it's like, I feel like that kind of got him hot right now. It's like, bro, if you
that text
a little patient, you would have been good. Like,
yeah, but that's a good point.
Like,
that's a good point. But it's like, but I think like we all have our breaking points, right? And like it may be an emotional, like that's what it reads like. He talked about Denver in the hiring process for when he became the Miami head coach, and how basically John Elway was like he could tell that they were drunk from the night before. I don't even know what that means. Like how much they had to be drinking to tell that you were drunk from the night before. Like that's wild. But they basically said that they didn't give him a fair shot. Then there's the Bill Belichick text, which was so interesting because it was like, Coach, thanks, Coach. And he was like, thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Like that to me was like, I felt that, man. The thanks, Bill. Like, damn, like I felt that right there. But it's like he probably was like, just reading between the lines, like, bro, he probably was like, man, F all this.
Yeah,
F all this, bro. Y'all gonna like do this Rooney Rule thing and stream me around like just because y'all already deciding who the coach is before I'm even doing it. Why am y'all wasting my time? I'm not. And then when I do get hired, I gotta talk to this owner who's saying do this and do that and going against like this is how the game's gonna be played. Like, nah, F that. And he went through and he went through with the lawsuit, and it's like you got to think like it's similar to the Cap situation. It's very similar to the Cap situation in terms of like if you do this, there's a very
are you gonna really? I'm saying if your goal is to like coach in the NFL,
JB. Let me say this though, JB. Like, because this is why it's interesting. Because like with the Cap situation, I don't feel like he really wanted to play again. With this situation, I do feel like Flores wanted to coach at some point in this. Maybe he got a breaking point where he was like, "No, I don't." But I feel like he wanted to coach.
I think he does. I think he
Yeah,
does.
like
I just feel like
he's doing a
I
risky
said, I
thing
feel
with
like
it.
his
Yeah.
he's angry, and it's just
Yeah.
like I feel like he's this one like in his ego. You feel me? Just like bro, what y'all doing me like this? Like hell no, like I should have been the coach and boom whoop, and like I just feel like he lashing out
And just opportunity, and just the opportunity. That I think it's not just about being a coach, and it's like just the opportunity, like the legitimacy of an opportunity, bro. Like if you had to interview for a position that was already hired for, I mean, what am I doing?
No, I feel it, but
We having
guess
whole hour, 2-hour conversations about the vision and me breaking down your roster, and I'm moving around gymnastics with all these other interviews and all these other things with my family and
Hey,
other things I got to do because you want to string me around. Like,
I'm playing devil's advocate. That probably could happen not only with black candidates, but that might be happening with a lot of
I don't.
coaches. Like you feel me?
You said devil's advocate, but I didn't say anything about
interview.
race. You said devil's advocate, but I didn't say anything about race.
No, I'm just talking about like the Rooney Rule, like how how people like say like it's just checking off the box.
Yes,
and that's what
fair point.
Because that's what that's the angle he's coming for basically with this is like.
But why do you think they would do that?
What?
Like you're saying, like basically,
I guess my point is this. So I feel like my point was this though, like just people, like let's say an organization is interviewing people, and it's like, okay, we interviewed this one guy. Let's just say Kyle Shanahan, right? And it's like we interviewed him on Tuesday or whatever, and we like, bro, no, this the guy. And it's like, but we have an interview set up on Friday.
No,
it's
like,
this the guy we really want.
I don't think so, bro.
This the guy we really feel like we want.
I just know, like, I only can speak from my perspective. I've definitely hired people. I know you have your own business. But like I've hired people for companies before, and like I've been involved in recruiting processes, and I only have small experience in it. But like if you have the candidate, you're gonna send that person an offer, and if they accept, you're not gonna keep any. It's just wasting time.
No, I feel like they might not be at the point where it's like, okay, we're finna send them the offer right now, but it's kind of like a known, like this is kind of the route we want to go, but we want to quote cover all of our bases type vibe.
I don't know, man. I feel
like that's how I feel like. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I could see how people could, how I could see how that could go.
Well, yeah, and the point to your, like another thing to consider, like the Josh McDaniels situation with the Colts from years ago, where he turned them down. Like you want to have a contingency plan because you never know. Like, and that's what kind of Shanahan was saying about the Jimmy G situation too. Like you can say definitive things, but why? Because you never really know what's going to happen at the end of the day.
Bro. And then with these interviews, it's like you never know, even down the line. Like maybe we about to hire this dude, but oh yeah, we remember interviewing Brian Flores this day, and that means something because it's like we know we went through this process with him. So maybe 3 years from now, when we looking for a new coach again, like okay, or that type of thing.
That's what I thought. This comment from Joey, that's what I thought. He said, it's crazy that it comes out while the Vikings are interviewing minority candidates. That's what I thought when D'Amico pulled out of the Vikings position. I thought like he was like, I don't want to be just no Rooney Rule person if y'all already know which direction you're going. I think that in this league, people have, like the agents, like to the point we were just talking about, like you're going to talk about contract. Maybe they're sending them an offer and they need to know what the parameters are and stuff. So then the agent knows, and then this person knows, and then it gets out, and it's like maybe D'Amico and other people just kind of know, like, oh, like I'm not even being considered for this. Why am I'm not going to do this interview, period. Like, I'm going to focus on my team and F it. When the opportunity's right, I'm going to strike then. Flores out here just vibing, doing his thing, getting ready for his interview, looking at film on the Giants and whatnot. And then all of a sudden you get a text from, Belichick, and it's like he lets the cat out the bag. It's like, oh, that's what's going on behind the scenes before I even have my interview. Anyways, it's just a fascinating situation to me. I know people want to talk about the race aspect and the Rooney Rule, like, but to me, it's like that's what he's. But there's other elements though too, as I said, the owners, the $100,000 for the tanking, there's hella things in the story where it's like, damn, like this shit is deep. Like it's just so shocking to me because it was just like 3 weeks ago. It's like you wouldn't even imagine that this guy would be fired, and now it's like, is he ever going to coach again? Like it's crazy how the NFL, like,
yeah, bro, it's the NFL. Like you this is the NFL, man.
Like anything. But anyways, just wanted to top on some figure out to speak on these current event topics. going around the league. Brian Flores, it was interesting to me. Wanted to bring it up. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get to on this episode. We got a lot to talk about this offseason. It's crazy that it's starting now. I did a preliminary tweet the other day just talking about my preliminary wish list for free agency. We got to get into the grind of it, man. Let's take that mental break though, tap out, I should say. And everybody just needs to cope in your own way. You got to deal with it. We got to move on. It's going to be 2 weeks to the Super Bowl. And if the Rams do end up winning, then I will be at that parade rocking my Ayuk jersey, my Niner hat, my Niner gear. I got to let them know what time it is. And if the Bengals win, it's going to be like, damn, in the NFL, you can go from worst to first. Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. And what could have been? Because I feel like we would have beat that team. We've already beat them. And if the Rams win, we've already beat them too, twice. Exactly. And that adds more pain to it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, it would be cool to see. Like, I ain't gonna be mad if the Rams win hella much. I ain't gonna be hella mad, but it would be cool to see them lose.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see them lose. Maybe like, not wishing injuries on anybody, but a catastrophic injury, something like that. No, I'm playing, y'all. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I turned on, like I said, I turned on LA radio and they're talking about if the Rams lose, is it a failure and a disappointment? Or is it like depend on the context of the game? They're really arguing that, and I'm just like, bro, I just hope they lose, bro. Like, I really need them to lose.
Bro, they honestly, I feel like they should win. I mean,
they definitely should win.
They're a more balanced team. Like,
yeah,
but I was
and it's at home, which is not gonna mean that much because it's Super Bowl. So, but still, they're at home. It's like,
yeah, they gonna have a home field advantage, but
they're built to.
I mean, this is what if Joe Burrow, if he's some special guy, we're gonna see.
We're gonna see. I think he is special, but we'll see. That's gonna be it for us, y'all. This is the 49365 podcast, the Tonight Show to be exact, on Frontline Sports Media. Shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to us, man. Make sure you like, subscribe. Appreciate everybody who did comment. Make sure you comment after this video is out if you've seen it in, I don't know, a few hours from now, maybe a few years from now. I don't know what time period this in. You may be in 2024 looking back on this random end of the season recap from 49365. I don't know why, but maybe you are. My name is Biamechi, and as always, I'm with JB.
We out. Hey, Faithful, man. Damn, we gonna keep calling each other the Faithful. But anyways, Faithful, stand up, baby.
It's crazy. The Faithful.